Okay, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to do the masking around the canopy. So for that, we're somewhat cheating, although I don't call it cheating anymore. I call it pretty much save your mind a little bit. But we got the mask set. It says EX773. So make sure you get the one for the Hobby Boss kit. So I think it's slightly different to the one for the Atari kit. All right. Mainly the problem you've got is there's some little fiddly bits. There's like a T-shape and window down on the side here and things like that. And I think this will just make it a lot easier. So for this, you will need a knife just to help peel it off the backing, and a good pair of tweezers, good pair of sharp tweezers as well, because obviously you can peel it off and position it as well without having your chunky fingers in the way and things like that. So usual thing, we've already gone around and orientated some of these up here already. The main one though is obviously this down in here. So we've got the big one's going to be for the front windscreen, which to be honest is quite straightforward, but we have got these half ones up on the top here which are going to go through, and then obviously we've got some other areas for putting in the mask with them. So he's got these two ones down in here if you like. So we'll start off with the fiddly ones. So we've got down in here, which will be, you'll rotate your backing paper to how it is, all right? So again, you can see we've got the downward, I've already taken a few out. And then we know this one is over here, so we have a quick look for it. And as I say, this is where a good pair of sharp tweezers is always a good thing, because you can just peel it off and then obviously it's stuck onto it. So it just makes handling a little bit easier. All right, and then we're just gonna literally stick them as they are showing down on here. So this is the first of the rear ones. So I'm gonna roughly position it where I think it is onto here. So we've actually got a little cross area just down in here. So it's always good to make sure you get that first one in the right position, give it a bit of a knead down, and then you should be able to just follow then the curve as it makes its way around. All right. So again, just making sure you're as crisp at following the line as possible. Pretty darn good. All right. And then just making sure we've got that corner in. And there we go. That one's in. Then we can have a look up here, and we know the other one is going to be on the other side up here. So again, to be honest, these are coming off very easy, and obviously these are lethally pointy tweezers as well. But what you don't want to do is blunt the corners. So for this one, I'm going to reposition because I want the corner. And again, nice good sharp pair of tweezers will help. So what we can do is we know if we get this corner in properly, we should be in the ballpark for it all. All right, so we get this one just down in here is looking good. And then we're just going to fold this one over. And to be honest, this one's just going to move up a little bit. So we're just going to pull this one up. And this one looks like it's going to slightly overhang the bottom. So taking a nice sharp pair of scissors, we're just going to nip the bottom off of this. So it literally fits, because the overlap is just a tiny little bit more. And that's good. And then we knead it down to position. And then we're just going to grab this front one, and then hopefully this one will be a slightly nicer fit. Just down into here. So what you want to do is make sure that it's overlapping precisely and not somewhat where you've got a funny corner on it and things. And I've just managed to break the mirror. So we'll get that in. I'll tell you what, that took a little push before it broke. I felt the resistance. That glue is really, really good for use. So there we go. That one's in there just like that. All right. So what we can do is we'll just do this side. I'll show you, then I'll move off to other areas. So what we can do is we'll do the big window on the side, which is, I do believe is going to be this one here. So again, take him off. Again, pick a corner. So I quite like the look of this corner here. So again, position it down. We've slightly folded over that corner there. So I'm just going to tease it out with the tweezers. And we're looking at it, we're slightly, I think, going to be too far forward. So I'm going to reposition this. I'm going to try and get this corner in to be a little bit better. That looks nicer. That's better. And sometimes like that one, it literally just drops into position really nicely. All right, so that one's in. Then we can just work our way round, and we know the ones under here are rotated and orientated for what we need. So we've got this small little window just down in here. So again, picking a corner, spot on, one, and then we grab the other one. So we've got the real one. And this is where, to be honest, of course you could do this with tape and all the rest of it. But honestly, for the sake of a couple of quid on a mask set, the amount of hassle this saves, you know. And I'm, to be honest, but we used to say for a long time about this is a cop-out and it's cheating and all things like that. Okay, now I'm quite happy to take all of that back. I agree with Matt, life's too short. Again, looking a little bit high, knead it down. And again, this is where a good pair of tweezers really helps, because again, if you try and do it with fingers or big tweezers, you can't see exactly where you've got it into the correct corners and things. And obviously this one you can. All right, so again, just trying to do that little shape there. I'd have to do it in 2 parts and all the rest of it. It'd be a little bit of a pain. All right, and last up, we'll grab the actual main windscreen, which is in 2 parts. So what we'll do is we'll start with the corner part first. So making sure we have got the right one. All right, so again, I think we will go for the bottom corner first. So again, I'm just going to come down and place that into that bottom corner as best as we can. And what we'll do is we're just going to wrap this one up. In front here. So I'm just going to come over a little bit. There we go. And we can grab the other big part for the windscreen. So again, just reposition the tweezers. And you can just see how quick this is compared to anything else. So again, we know we've got an overlap, so we're just going to hopefully get this corner in first. And again, getting the corners in is so important, because again, we get a corner in right nice and tight, the rest of it should all follow pretty darn good. And there we have it, about half done. So up here, you can mask oil it, or you could just use another little bit of tape on here. All right, so you can just come along with Tamiya tape. And also don't forget, you always get on the outsides of these, which I'll just show you now, lovely square lines of which you can pinch and nick, because it's free tape here. All right, so you can use these for your filling in. So if you wanted to, you can just come along with these. And again, I'll just pinch this one, straighten that a little bit. Maybe just a touch too long, I do believe. So then what we'll do, just nip the end. Like that. And use a little bit, because I'm tight and I'm very frugal, just on this part here. Sneaky little hole. All right. And you can literally just come along and pinch these little bits just for filling in all the areas. So literally get your money's worth out of them. Like that. tiny bit around the front. Hopefully we can curve around the corner, which I think we will. And there we go. It's all put in there, just like that. So we'll repeat exactly the same for the other side, down in here.